Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. So we have two areas that we're watching in the Atlantic. First one, off the coast of Africa. We were talking about this one yesterday. Looks like a better chance of seeing some development with that in the short term. Hurricane Center putting up to about an 80% chance of development. This could quite possibly over the next day or so become a tropical depression. Good news about that, doesn't really matter because if it develops, it's just going to work its way onto the north and west, basically out over open waters. Now, we're also watching this other area, which is right now sitting to the east of the Leeward Islands. It is working its way towards the west. And I know you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, wait a second, isn't that where Ian started? And yeah, it's in that same general area, but just because something was in the same general area does not mean the same outcome with it. This is definitely significantly different. And I'll show you why coming up in just a second here. But here's that closer view of this. And what this is right now is really just a very disorganized tropical wave. We're seeing some convection with this, but we're not seeing any signs of any organization as far as a low-level center. You do see quite a bit of these areas of different convection, and it will be something that we continue to watch if we see anything develop. I think it's going to be slow, very slow to come. So here's that enhanced satellite loop where, again, you're seeing some of that deep convection. You can see the bright colors really indicating the areas of the stronger convection. But you're just not seeing any sign of any rotation by satellite and really no sign of any organization with this. Now, as we go through the next few days, you just have that same general idea. It works its way towards the west across the southern Caribbean, working its way over into the central and then over into the western Caribbean. If we see anything happen, it would likely be in the central or the western Caribbean. I think for the short term, it's just not organized enough. There is a little bit of dry air around it, so it's going to really struggle, at least in that beginning part. And so we just have to kind of watch to see, does it develop more across the Caribbean? Then the question becomes, does it turn to the north? Well, this time around, we have a much stronger high sitting to the north. So the likelihood of something like that or that scenario just isn't there at this point. So there's the high. That really kind of protects us for now. And so there is that system working its way into the Caribbean. But notice what that high is doing. It's just lingering in the area. We've got the nice weather over us, and that just kind of keeps those steering currents pushing anything basically from the east to the west. So then you look at that long range. We're looking at the GFS and the European. And again, really not showing much development with this as we go through the next few days. Where you do start to see some development is once it gets into maybe the central or the western Caribbean. But again, you're not seeing significant development. So anything that happens with this, I think is going to be fairly slow to come. And with that ridge to the north, that should protect us, but that would send anything that does develop into Central America. But still, we're talking a long ways off, but it's just one of those areas that we will continue to watch, and we'll keep you updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com.